Hello everyone, Love of the Game here. Today I'm going to talk about the Warriors' start of the year. And the Warriors have gotten off to a decent start this year by going 1-1, beating the Lakers on ring night, but losing to Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. And I absolutely love that my fellow Warriors fans are so passionate that after a championship run, they're getting mad on Twitter and Reddit after a Game 2 loss, tweeting shit about Steve Kerr and tweeting stuff about the young core. But I wanted to go back and rewatch the first two games to see if there's actually a cause for concern. And after watching the games back, it's pretty obvious that the Warriors' main bench lineup is getting absolutely killed. The Warriors' bench lineup of Jordan Poole, Kuminga, Wiseman, JaMychal Green, and Donte DiVincenzo is getting torched. This lineup is getting the second most minutes out of any five-man combination behind the Warriors starters with 12 minutes. And in these minutes, the Warriors have an offensive rating of 55.3, which is atrociously bad, along with an 111.1 defensive rating, which comes out to a negative 57.8 net rating. And to show you why this lineup is struggling, we'll look at the Lakers game, since Kerr also showed a lineup in this game, which could be the fix, but he went back to this lineup to try again against the Nuggets. So this lineup first got on the floor against the Lakers around the 2-minute mark in the first quarter. And with this lineup with Wiseman and Kuminga, not a very high IQ lineup, Steve Kerr wants to keep things simple and run a 4-out and pick and roll up top. But the issue here is there's bad spacing, but Westbrook can cheat off of Kuminga in the corner since he's not a shooting threat, and it results in a tough layup for Jordan Poole, which he misses. To me, the biggest problem with this lineup is that the front line of Kuminga, JaMychal Green, and James Wiseman did not provide good enough spacing for this lineup to work. You can see here, after Kuminga drives to the paint, Wiseman tried to seal his man in semi-transition, but now he's in the way, and Westbrook up top doesn't respect JaMychal Green, and it results in Kuminga trying to force something up and traveling. This next possession might be the best example of why this Warriors lineup is not working, as the Warriors run a dribble handoff with James Wiseman and Donte DiVincenzo with Jordan Poole on the weak side. The rest of the weak side is cleared out, so Donte DiVincenzo should be able to come off this handoff with Wiseman and roll to the basket and create a 2-on-1 essentially with no help from the weak side. But once this play gets going, DiVincenzo can't go to the basket because JTA and LeBron do not respect the strong side shooting of Kuminga and JaMychal Green, and they get in the way of Donte DiVincenzo's drive until he kicks it out. But the Warriors do a good job of cycling the ball until DiVincenzo beats JT off the dribble and creates a wide open three here for Kuminga in the corner. But Kuminga's not a good enough nor a confident enough shooter to take this, so instead he takes a dribble, pump fakes, and gets bailed out after Poole draws a foul with only 3.3 seconds left on the shot clock. And as the Warriors continue to keep things simple with this lineup, it's another 4-out, 1-in pick and roll with Wiseman. And Wiseman does have a lane to the basket, but Poole correctly reads this with LeBron sagging off of Kuminga and mucking up the paint, so Wiseman isn't actually open on this roll. And so this ends up in Jordan Poole trying to create something on his own, eventually finding Kuminga, but Kuminga turns it over, and it's another bad possession. And the Warriors run it again, another 4-out, 1-in pick and roll with Poole and Wiseman. And look at the weak side here with Kuminga and JaMychal Green in the corner. Matt Ryan and LeBron James do not respect them at all. So they want to stop Jordan Poole and stop his drive. So J. Poole just decides to pull up and make a jumper. But it's hard to lift off of shots like that. So eventually Steve Kerr had enough of this lineup and inserted Moses Moody into the lineup for JaMychal Green to break up what I found the issue of Kuminga, Green, and Wiseman playing together. And Moses Moody actually shot 43.8 from the three-point range last year after the All-Star break. So if you insert him into the bench mob lineup, the offense should improve a lot with the increased spacing of Moody in for JaMychal Green. And for the short 2 minutes that Steve Kerr played this lineup before the starters came back in against the Lakers, the offense did improve a lot. In those 2 minutes, so it's a small sample size, so it's tough, the offensive rating shot up to 140, with the defensive rating being a bad 125, but it still results in a net rating of 15, which is much better than a minus 57.8 that the previous lineup had. And let's go back to the Lakers game to see why this lineup passes the eye test more than the other lineup as well. Now with Moses Moody in the game, the Warriors run the same pick and roll, but with two adjustments that I really like. Now that Moody's in the corner, you can't even see him, he's in this bottom right corner. The Lakers have to respect him as a good shooter. And now in the other corner, it's Jordan Poole. And the Lakers do not want to leave Jordan Poole because he's the main scoring threat of this lineup. So once DiVincenzo and Wiseman finally get in this pick and roll, they have way more space than they did previously, and it results in Wiseman getting a wide open layup, which he finishes. This next possession shows how valuable Moses Moody is to this lineup. Again, Moses Moody is actually in this bottom right corner off screen because he sprinted to the corner, which he should do, and he punishes the Lakers not closing out to him quickly. And once Poole gets the ball and swings it to Moody quickly, Matt Ryan just gives him a little bit of space, and Moody makes him pay by knocking down the corner three-pointer. And this final clip just shows the spacing again when they run this pick and roll. It's on repeat of the first play. There's a lot more space, and Wiseman gets an easy dunk from Poole. And that was actually it for this lineup for this game. Steve Kerr put the starters back in, and to start the fourth quarter, Steve included some starters because he realized this lineup really struggled. But I think at the long run, Steve really wants a bench lineup that can perform. The Warriors starters are historically good together. To start the year, they actually have a positive 45 net rating, but in order to play them the maximum minutes together, the bench unit needs to step up. Unfortunately, in the Nuggets game, Steve Kerr went back to the Kuminga, JaMychal Green, Wiseman three-man front court with the bench lineup again, and it didn't work again. They got destroyed. This time, defensively, and the offense wasn't much better again. I understand at the beginning of the season, it's time for Steve Kerr to experiment and see what works and what doesn't. I am also aware that 2 games is often not a big enough sample size to make big decisions. But it's pretty obvious this 3-man lineup of Wiseman, Kuminga, and JaMychal Green has inherent issues, and it's not going to work. The eye test shows this, and the atrocious numbers shows this as well. And there are 8 good teams this year in the West, so I hope Kerr ditches this lineup as soon as possible, because the Warriors need to win as many games as possible for seeding when Steph, Klay, and Dre are all healthy, since there will be times this year where they sit out due to rest or are injured. So when the Warriors play the Kings tonight, keep an eye out for the first bench lineup that starts once Steph Curry comes out, either at the end of the first or the start of the second. Let's see if Kerr goes with his lineup that he's tried the first 2 games, or if he experiments with the Moses Moody lineup, which has had much better results so far. And that'll be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far, and please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. I just started this channel. Thank you so much. Have a good day.